This video is brought to you by Against the Flow of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is a book about Jake Fayard, a Marine veteran who is unhappy with the political machine running the state of Mississippi. He decides to fight the corruption from the inside. Jake will face more challenges than he ever has and will stand up for what he thinks is right. His notoriously hot temper will push him to the edge of murder, along with his friend and brother Kobe Barhanovich. Together, they will fight the system and give the power back to the citizens of Mississippi. Against the Flow of Mississippi is now available on Amazon. A link to the book will be placed in the description below.
All right, y'all, good morning. Let's see if third time's a charm. This is the third time I've had to make this video. See if I can get the lighting better, too. It's about as good as we're going to get tonight, or this morning. Anyway, good morning, y'all, from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Out here driving this semi. All right, I want to get down to the root of the matter here. I don't have a whole lot of time before I have to start rolling. I've got about 2 hours before I need to be about 40 miles up the road, so I'm going to make this as quick and painless as possible. Here's an update on my lawsuit, and I'm also going to add a little something extra in the video at the end of it. So the state filed a motion to dismiss. I responded. I'm going to give y'all my response. Some of y'all may find some of this disrespectful to the court. I want to make it clear that's not my intention. I have the utmost respect for the court. Good morning, Your Honor. Now comes your plaintiff, Anthony Allen, responding to the defendant's motion to dismiss. I apologize for my delay in responding, but I beg the court's pardon as I am an over-the-road truck driver without access to steady internet. I will be sending a copy of this response to the defendant via certified mail and will upload that document as proof of service, as well as sending the defendant my response via email. I've done both. Yesterday, it went out certified mail. I had somebody print it out and send it for me. Since I am not a lawyer and will not pretend to be one, I will respond in layman's terms. This usually gets me into trouble, but I think I make valid points. The defendant argues that this court has no jurisdiction over this matter. This court is specifically set up by the Ohio Supreme Court for the purpose of righting wrongs done by agents and or agencies of the state. The basis of this grants court jurisdiction that is required to judge this case, and I think fairly. As to the counts of the defendant's motion to dismiss, I respond in this way. I was assaulted, and I was offered a change of uniform. I was also denied any claim of workman's compensation by DRC, as well as the union, for my time spent after work in the ER. I should have also said for my next day I had to take off because of the post-exposure medicines had my stomach in freaking knots. I want y'all to understand something. Reason I bring this up as far as workman's comp is that was one of their claims. That I should have sought relief for any physical or psychological problems through workman's comp. I'm going to get on that later, though. If DRC doesn't know that how convicted felons will respond when you allow them to act contrary to the law, then I would argue that the leadership of DRC isn't very good at their jobs. That's right. I stand by that. Allowing a convict to assault a correctional officer without consequences, I believe this court would agree, would definitely create a dangerous situation for correctional officers and the general public. Defendant argues that DRC has no duty to prosecute the convict that assaulted me. I would argue that DRC has every duty to prosecute every convicted felon in their custody who assaults any correctional officer or support staff of the institution. Any reasonable thinking person would agree that keeping correctional staff safe in the workplace by discouraging violence by convicts should be a duty of DRC. Allow this to go to a jury trial, and I would argue that 12 out of 12 citizens of the state of Ohio would agree with me. My experiences of years as a correctional officer have taught me several things. You nip problems in the bud, or you will suffer greatly for it. Allowing this inmate to merely be moved from one unit to another and losing his property for 60 days is honestly no deterrent to assaulting staff. I believe this convict has assaulted staff in the past, and I think he has. Pretty sure. If this court doesn't have jurisdiction over the subject matter, then what does this court do? I meant that as no disrespect to the court. I meant that simply as a rebuttal to the Attorney General's argument that the court doesn't have jurisdiction. This case is very important to an already taxed prison system whereby officers are required to work extended work days because very few people actually want to work in a prison due to the climate. This case can force DRC to put the safety of its staff in higher value and will lead to less assaults on staff. Plaintiff prays that Your Honor will deny the motion to dismiss, and we'll see the importance of the outcome. Let me tell y'all something. They were saying that I was trying to claim some kind of psychological damage. I'm not. If that was the case, I wouldn't have walked back in the door the next, 2 days later. If that was the case, I wouldn't have walked right back on that wing an hour after I got shit thrown on me. And when I went back in there, I was about my business. Like the kids say, I stood on business. That being said, this is not a workman's comp claim. I wanted the state to do the right thing, which is prosecute a convict who assaulted me. And by the way, I'm going to get into something here, but if you have small children around, or if you're not really ready to see what goes on or what could go on in a prison, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds to turn the video off now. Okay. But those of y'all who are still here, hopefully those with small children have turned the video off after this point, I'm going to play my assault video and their response. You are going to see exactly what I went through from my point of view. My point of view being the body cam on my chest. You're going to hear me tell an inmate who's trying to, the one that assaulted me, I thought he was trying to pass something. I gave the order earlier that night that nothing was to be passed across the dorm. Apparently, he did not. Well, that's part of the reason why. Actually, I'd say that's about 90% of the reason why I got assaulted, is the fact that I stopped people from passing contraband across the compound. So, when I put a stop to that, they didn't like it. How dare you, UCO, you enforce the rules? And that's pretty much where I was. Y'all are going to see firsthand what happened. This is why at the beginning of this video I said you can send it out, but it ain't going nowhere. Basically what I was telling him was nothing is going to be passed. And then you'll see what happens. Also, yesterday was the first time I saw these videos. I am going to tell y'all that I have no ill feelings toward the officer in the video that was working with me. I think he is inexperienced. I think he's got a lot to learn. I think he needs more training. I think that night woke him up to the fact that he actually does work at a prison. And I'm not going to lie, it takes some people who come into work at a prison who've never done this type of work before. It takes them a minute to realize, hey, this is not nursery school. This is a prison. This is a dangerous place. Things happen here. People get hurt here. And I think this officer is probably better for it, honestly. Because he got hit with the same feces I did. Again, before I play this, and by the way, this is nothing against the training, the institutional training at Toledo CI. The officer that's over training at Toledo CI, very capable guy. R.D. Jones is awesome. I think that his training program, he does his best to prepare COs for what they're going to face in the prison system. However, he's limited on his time, and I know he would love to have a lot more time to train people. Anyway, here's the video. Again, small children, people that don't really want to see what's going on inside of a prison, turn your camera off, or turn the video off now. Good morning.
You want your child tray? Beavers, do you want your chow? No? Okay.
He's refusing too?
Yeah. I think he wants to sleep.
Okay. It's okay.
Where are you actually putting that? Are you putting down here? Where are they?
Yo.
Where are you putting that?
Right down there in the comments.
In the comments down here?
The comments. Yep. That's what I do. Lauren, what's Joe? If you send it out, it ain't going nowhere, I'm just telling you. Trash? Okay. Go ahead and send it out if it's trash. Here.
I don't want that, bro.
You want your app? Oh, I'm fucking you up. Woo, you son of a bitch. Get somebody now.
Signal 3, pull your...
I didn't hit that. He sent me out. He wanted me to go get somebody. So.
Yeah, go. Signal 3, B34 south. Signal 3, B34.